A lot of people talk about range anxiety. They say EVs, they're a problem because I can't drive far enough. Then I have to find somewhere to charge it. That's a problem. Therefore, I can't buy an electric car. While the interesting thing is that while all the electric car naysayers are saying that range anxiety is this huge problem, it turns out in reality, once people actually go ahead and buy an electric car, their experience is completely different. These results might shock you if you don't already own an electric car. If you do own one, well, you'll say, I told you so. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. My name is Sam Evans. Great to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing. Welcome to those new subscribers that are here recently. Welcome back, everyone else. If you're new, we do around 5 to 7 videos per day. All the EV news here in one place. Range anxiety actually drops after an electric vehicle purchase. Now, Bryce Catton from Inside EVs, who I've recently had the great opportunity to interview, says that a recent study of 16,000 electric vehicle owners in Canada has shown that common pre-purchase concerns about EV ownership, including driving range, cold weather performance, and battery degradation, decline dramatically after purchase. In other words, a lot of it just evaporates. A lot of it's myth. And, well, in fact, pretty much all of it's myth, actually. Consider this. Canada is probably the most extreme place on the planet where we're seeing a lot of electric cars sold in terms of its weather, in terms of its vast spaces. In reality, there's not that many electric vehicle chargers in Canada when you consider the size of the country, when you consider the vast spaces, when you consider the challenges of driving in a country like that, period. It's a very challenging country. I used to watch a show in Canada, it was amazing, about trucks being rescued there on some of the roads there. And it just made me realize just how dangerous and challenging some of the roads in Canada really, truly are, especially in winter. So the study was commissioned by the Canadian Automobile Association, or the CAA. They wanted to know what people's real experiences were, not just what the media was saying. It was conducted by PlugShare Research, and it found that Canadian EV drivers were worried about public charging infrastructure, with more than 1/3 of those surveyed, or 36%, not having the confidence to drive their EV on a long road trip. But data showed that not many EV owners were yet prepared to make the commitment to fully 100% EV households, with most Canadian EV drivers, or 67%, still owning an internal combustion engine vehicle. Ian Jack, Vice President of Public Affairs at the Canadian Automobile Association, said, "We know EVs are gaining sales, but a lot of people still have questions. We think this research into the actual experiences of EV drivers in Canada shed a light on where the real pain points are and where potential buyers can worry less." As a long-range EV owner here in Australia, Bryce says he is interested. As a long-range EV owner here in Australia, Bryce says that he can attest to range anxiety, or the fear of running out of charge with no way to recharge in a reasonable period of time. That it disappears entirely once you own an EV that is relevant. I mean, if you own, say, a Mazda MX-30 with 120 miles of range, yeah, your range anxiety is going to be shocking. If you own an early Nissan Leaf where you've seen a lot of battery degradation, yeah, your range anxiety is going to be massive. If you own a newer EV with, say, anywhere from 250 miles plus of range anxiety seems to just go away. In fact, many EV owners, including Bryce himself, say that range anxiety changes to range awareness, simply being aware of how much range you have in your car. And for me personally, owning an electric car and owning a lot of electric mobility, like electric bikes, electric skateboards, and electric scooters, and here in Bangkok, only using electric skateboards as my primary means of transport. And I've used taxis occasionally, but we've been here for quite a while now, and the only thing that we use to get around are skateboards. But we just become aware of how far we can go, and we take batteries with us if we need to. Now, given that Canada is comparable in population size and slightly larger in land area, as well as being slightly ahead of Australia in terms of EV adoption for 2022, as around 8% of car sales there meant that around twice as many EVs were sold in Canada versus Australia. Canada is a good indication, says Bryce, of what is happening right now in Australia, or at least in the very near future. Now, many EV owners attest to this. I've seen this mentioned many times. Range anxiety actually seems to disappear once you get an EV, but it really does depend on which EV you buy. Like I said, if you buy an EV with limited access to some charging networks in whatever country you're in, maybe it's only certain types of charging, maybe your charging speed is slow, maybe it's hard for you to charge at home, then range anxiety could be very real. But for example, if you buy well-known EVs that charge quickly, and if you have access to be able to charge your electric car at home, that this concept of range anxiety changes into simply range awareness. Now, personally, for me, I was thinking about it the other day. I love not having to put gasoline into my electric car, into my electric skateboard, because there has been hundreds and hundreds of times in my life where I've thought to myself, oh no, my petrol in my vehicle is running low. I need to find somewhere to put fuel in. Where is it? Where is a place? Where is it? And I start looking on my phone. Where is one? And guess what? With an EV, the number of times you're going to do that is going to be drastically less because you charge your car overnight. So every morning you wake up and you have a full tank, or at least a full battery. And as EV range gets longer and longer every year, which it does, range anxiety for EVs will completely disappear, while range anxiety for gasoline-powered vehicles will become a much more significant issue. Let me know your thoughts and your experience on this in the comments. Thank you for watching.